Hello, I'm Ray Welling.
And I'm Erin Lu. Welcome to Workplace Info, the view for April 2015. Arriving with our theme for this month, and our analysis focused on recruitment, induction, and training. An overseas trend for companies that want to encourage new employees to start their new job in a good friend of mine is the precation, a paid holiday before commencing work. Is it a fad or a clever innovation? It sounds like a great recruitment tool, and it helps to provide a clear break before starting a new career chapter. However, it also makes it harder to do handovers, and other employees might resent the perk being given to people before they've got a chance to prove themselves. Our article concluded that a more effective option could be to offer flexible leave arrangements during the first few months on the job. This captures many of the benefits of a precation while minimizing the downsides.
Meanwhile, in this month's Workplace Info webinar, HR consultant Larry Forsyth and Marnie Jones from Gallup Solutions discussed best practices for employee induction. The key takeout was that you need to start new employees off on the right foot by helping them to understand your company culture and what you stand for, so that they can live that culture with your customers and quickly find out whether they're a good fit for your organization.
What does the most popular car show on TV have to do with workplace relations? Well, the British show Top Gear hits the headlines this month when its high-profile host Jeremy Clarkson was removed from the show after he allegedly punched and verbally abused a producer for failing to provide him with a hot meal. And you thought you had to put up with tricky employees. Why Clarkson's employer terminated him by not renewing his TV contract rather than summarily dismissing him. The case has raised a number of issues around dismissal law. Our writer Mike Tolton looked at the legal and procedural issue that applied and explored what would have applied to Clarkson if he had been working for an Australian employer. The message, having a high profile or bringing in lots of revenue does not entitle someone to special treatment, nor does it excuse employer from exercising their duty of care to other employees.
Who cares about carers? There were a few Q&As this month on Workplace Info that dealt with the definition of carers and carers leave. One subscriber asked whether an employee who cared for a grandchild not living with them was entitled to carers leave, while another asked who is considered a carer and whether they can request proof of a caring arrangement. As our IR expert Paul Monroe explains, the term immediate family in the Fair Work Act does extend to grandparents and grandchildren, and the person being cared for doesn't have to reside in the same household. Meanwhile, the term carer is defined as anyone who provides personal care, support, and assistance to someone who needs support due to disability, a medical condition, medical illness, or frailty. Satisfactory evidence of a carer arrangement could include a medical certificate or a statutory declaration. Employers need reasonable business grounds to refuse a carer's request for flexible work arrangements. And now for our case of the month. John Golden discusses two judgments where executives were seeking redundancy benefits, with a $3 million difference in the judgments.
In a recent case on Workplace Info, two executives sought redundancy payments. In one instance, $3 million was awarded. In the other matter, no redundancy payment was awarded. Now, why was the difference? It was a similar situation apparently on the surface. However, the court searched through all the evidence and found in one instance the contract carried a clause incorporated from a policy which allowed the executive to substantiate his claim. In the other case, there was no contractual term benefiting the executive. Consequently, he received nothing. In the second instance as well, the court found he'd probably resign, but that was a secondary issue. Now, this case does point clearly to the need to be very, very straightforward and clear about redundancy entitlements in executive contracts. It means that employers and employees should obtain appropriate advice when contracts are in issue.
Thanks, John. I'm off to check the redundancy clause in my contract now.
That's it for today. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next month on The View.